They told you it was healthy. They told you to eat it every day. But what if I told you the food you've been trusting for years, maybe even giving to your children, is actually putting your health at risk? Every year, millions of people follow outdated advice, not because they don't care about their health, but because they were misled. And here's the shocking part. Even doctors have been promoting it. According to recent studies, some of the foods that have been labeled heart-healthy or diet-friendly can increase your risk of inflammation, weight gain, and even chronic diseases. So why were we told to eat them? And more importantly, what can we do now to protect our families? In this video, I'm going to reveal what doctors got wrong, why this happened, and how you can make smarter food choices starting today. If you care about your health, your longevity, and your loved ones, watch until the end. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Have you ever followed a health trend that turned out to be wrong? Let's dive into the truth, starting now. The shocking truth behind healthy foods. For decades, food companies have used powerful marketing to label certain products as healthy, low-fat, sugar-free, or doctor-recommended. But what if I told you that many of these foods were never truly good for you? Let's take a walk down your grocery store aisle. You see low-fat yogurts, breakfast cereals with heart-shaped logos, margarine instead of butter, and vegetable oils sold as the smart choice. Sounds healthy, right? That's what we were told. But the truth is much darker. Behind the labels, many of these foods are filled with refined sugars, artificial additives, inflammatory oils, and chemical preservatives. And while the packaging screams fit and light, the impact on your body is often the opposite: slowed metabolism, increased cravings, and rising blood sugar. So how did we get here? In the 1970s and 80s, there was a massive public health push to reduce fat intake. Doctors and nutritionists were told fat was the enemy, especially saturated fat. The food industry reacted quickly. They removed fats and replaced them with sugars and starches to maintain taste. And that's when the real problem began. These new low-fat products were not tested for long-term effects. They were pushed into the market with clever branding and big promises, and consumers trusted them, because if doctors approved them, they had to be safe, right? Here's the bitter irony. Obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease began to rise in the same period when these so-called healthy foods became mainstream. Let that sink in. What we thought was a solution may have been part of the problem all along. The food you thought was safe, but isn't, let's name it. Vegetable oil. That's right. The bottle of heart-healthy oil sitting in your kitchen may be doing more harm than good. For years, oils like canola, soybean, corn, and sunflower oil have been promoted as healthier alternatives to butter or lard. They're cheap, easy to cook with, and found in everything from salad dressings to baked goods. And yes, doctors once recommended them because of their low saturated fat content. But here's what most people don't know. These oils are highly processed, chemically extracted, and loaded with omega-6 fatty acids. Too many omega-6s in the diet can throw your body's balance off and cause chronic inflammation, the silent trigger behind heart disease, obesity, joint pain, and even some cancers. A study published in the Journal of Lipid Research revealed that a high intake of these oils may actually increase oxidative stress in your body, damaging your cells over time. So why were we told this was the healthy option? Because for decades, saturated fat was wrongly blamed for heart disease. In response, vegetable oils were marketed as the heroes, without long-term safety data. And once the food industry embraced them, they made their way into nearly every packaged food product on the shelves. Even now, many people use these oils daily, not realizing the long-term damage they may be causing. This isn't about scaring you, it's about waking up to the truth. The food you thought was safe, maybe even healthy, isn't. What science really says today, science has evolved, and it's speaking loudly. What modern research reveals about foods like vegetable oils is far from what we were told 20 or 30 years ago. Back then, saturated fat was painted as the villain and cholesterol was the enemy. But recent studies have debunked many of these outdated beliefs. One groundbreaking meta-analysis published in the British Medical Journal examined decades of dietary data and found no significant link between saturated fat intake and heart disease. Meanwhile, those same studies found that high levels of omega-6 fatty acids from industrial seed oils were associated with increased inflammation markers and metabolic dysfunction. And it's not just oils. Take breakfast cereals, once considered the perfect way to start the day. Today, research shows that many cereals labeled as whole grain or fortified are nothing more than processed sugar bombs that spike your blood sugar and leave you hungry again within hours. Or consider diet sodas, once recommended to diabetics and dieters alike. Emerging research has linked artificial sweeteners like aspartame to altered gut bacteria, impaired glucose response, and even higher cravings for sweets. So what does science really say today? It says that real, whole, minimally processed foods are key. It says we need to question the health claims printed on packages. And more importantly, it says we must stop relying solely on outdated advice and start listening to the latest evidence. Because your health depends on it. Why doctors still recommend it? The hidden pressure. Here's a question that many people are afraid to ask. If science has moved on, why haven't most doctors? The answer isn't about conspiracy. It's about something more subtle and more dangerous: institutional inertia and industry influence. Most doctors aren't trained in nutrition. In fact, many medical schools offer less than 20 hours of nutritional education during an entire degree. This means that unless a doctor takes the initiative to study nutrition deeply on their own, they're likely repeating outdated guidelines that were once thought to be correct. And where do those old guidelines come from? Often from government agencies and health organizations that have deep ties to the food and pharmaceutical industries. For example, in the past, major health institutions were sponsored by companies producing vegetable oils, sugary cereals, and low-fat processed snacks. These partnerships influenced the creation of food pyramids and public health campaigns that told millions of people what to eat. Doctors, trusting these sources, pass that advice on to patients. Even today, food companies fund studies that conveniently support their products using selective data and biased interpretations. The result? Confusion, misinformation, and misplaced trust. Most doctors aren't lying to you. They genuinely believe what they were taught. But the truth is, science has outpaced tradition. And unless professionals continuously update their knowledge, they risk giving advice that no longer serves your health. It's time to take ownership of your wellness, not blindly follow outdated prescriptions. How to protect yourself and your family. Now that you know the truth, the next step is clear. Take back control of your health and protect those you love from years of misinformation. Here's how to start. 1. Avoid industrial seed oils. Cut out oils like canola, soybean, corn, and sunflower from your kitchen. Instead, choose healthier alternatives like extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or even real butter in moderation. These are far less processed and more stable when heated. 2. Read every label. Don't let marketing slogans fool you. Look at the ingredients list, not just the front of the package. Avoid products with long, unrecognizable chemical names or high amounts of added sugars, artificial sweeteners, and hydrogenated oils. 3. Return to real food. Focus your meals around whole foods, vegetables, fruits, grass-fed meats, wild fish, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and legumes. Minimize anything that comes in a box, a bag, or has more than 5 ingredients. 4. Cook at home more often. When you prepare your own food, you control the ingredients. Even simple changes like switching your cooking oil, avoiding processed snacks, and reducing sugar can dramatically improve your health over time. 5. Question authority. With respect. If your doctor still recommends outdated foods, don't be afraid to ask why. Share recent studies and be your own advocate. Health is too important to follow advice blindly. The best doctors will welcome a conversation because medicine should evolve with science. Now more than ever, knowledge is your most powerful weapon. And now that you have it, you can make choices that help your body, not hurt it. Are you ready to challenge the lies and live stronger, longer, and better? You've just uncovered a truth that most people never will. A truth hidden behind colorful packaging, big brand names, and even well-meaning medical advice. Some of the foods we've trusted most were never truly safe. But now you know better, and that knowledge is power. Let's recap what we've learned. Many healthy foods are only healthy by marketing, not by science. And vegetable oils, sugary cereals, and artificially sweetened products may silently harm your body over time. Science today tells a very different story than what we were told 20 years ago. Even doctors can be caught in a web of outdated education and industry influence. The power to change your health is in your hands, starting with what you eat. Practical tips you can apply today. 1. Throw out the seed oils. Replace them with olive oil or avocado oil. 2. Revisit your pantry. Eliminate ultra-processed snacks with hidden sugars and additives. 3. Cook one fresh meal at home this week. Make it simple, nourishing, and free from the foods we discussed. 4. Share this video with someone you care about. Help them see what you've seen. 5. Comment below. What healthy food are you going to ditch starting today? If this video opened your eyes, like it, share it. And don't forget to subscribe for more health truths they don't want you to know. Your body, your family, your life, they deserve the truth. And now you have it. They told you it was healthy. But what if I told you that some foods you've trusted for years could be harming your health? Every year, millions follow outdated advice, thinking they're making the right choices for their families. Shocking studies reveal that many heart-healthy or diet-friendly foods may actually increase inflammation, promote weight gain, and raise the risk of chronic diseases. So why were we misled? The food industry thrived on clever marketing, pushing low-fat options filled with sugars and harmful additives. As we trusted these products, our health began to decline. It's time for a wake-up call. Dive into our latest video to uncover the truth about what's really lurking in your grocery aisle and how you can make better choices for your loved ones starting today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. What healthy food are you ditching first? Let's reclaim our health together. #HealthTruth, #FoodFacts, #WellnessJourney.